the In This League Podcast Network. In this ring, in this corner, Joe Pisapia. This corner, Tim Heaney. Gentlemen, let's go.
Hey, yo, what's up, everybody? It's me, Joey B, Joe Pisapia, and welcome to In This Ring, the greatest wrestling podcast in the history of the universe. It's me, it's Tim Heaney, and we are officially on day 4.5 now of Wrestling Overload. My God, it's been spectacular. 4 straight days. We've got so much to cover. So many things happened. NXT, SummerSlam, the aftermath, and it's all going to go down right here. Tim, how are you recovering from the 4 straight days of WWE Overload?
My voice is just barely getting back, so good timing for the podcast, I guess.
Well, some would argue different, but yes, of course. There you go. And Tim was at the show on Saturday. Mm-hmm. I was at the show on Sunday. It was a great time. I mean, it was certainly overall, we I think both had a lot of fun. Tim probably saw one of the pinnacles probably of, and we'll get to it a little later on in the show too, with NXT, just some phenomenal matches there.
Oh, my goodness.
SummerSlam I thought was overall really entertaining, Tim. I even harken back to, it had some edge to it, almost Attitude Era-ish at times. And I kind of got that feeling. Did you get that same feeling, or am I just, on an island here?
I mean, no, I think I mostly agree with you. I think there are more positives than negatives in the show, for sure. Yeah, maybe they saved a few of the roughness for the big show, I guess. So, I enjoyed SummerSlam for the most part watching it.
I mean, AJ just not caring and just, going after him with the chair, stuff like that. That's kind of, that harkens back to a simpler time in my youth when I had a lot more hair and, a lot less responsibility.
And the big SmackDown women's development as well. So, yeah.
And in the background, you can probably hear the little ones chirping because they're back here too, because they attended their first pay-per-view. And I know it's everybody's favorite segment. Man. They are lucky. Let me tell you.
That's great. That's great stuff.
Tim says you're very lucky. So without further ado, before we dive into NXT, before we dive into our takes on SummerSlam and the aftermath, it's time to check in with the key demographic. That's right. It's everyone's favorite 1, 2, 3, kids.
1, 2, 3, kids.
1, 2, 3.
All right, so let's bring in kid number 1 here who just turned 6 this weekend. Mick, say hello to everybody out there.
Hi.
All right, so you watched NXT after your birthday party, correct?
Yes.
And what was the highlight for you of NXT? What was your favorite match or moment that happened there?
I liked Ricochet and
Adam Cole?
Yeah.
Yeah, you enjoyed the Ricochet and Adam Cole.
Yeah.
Some really cool stuff in that match, that's for sure. Now, when we went to SummerSlam, I know, tell everybody, first of all, only my kids, Tim, they actually got on Total Bellas. They were doing some sort of filming, and they thought they were cute, so they filmed like some B-roll footage of my kids. Can you believe that?
Oh, I believe it.
Yeah,
I believe it. Good wrestling parenting there. So yeah,
that's right. Yeah. two little girls walking into SummerSlam to the Barclays with their wrestling belts over their shoulders. And tell everybody, what was your purchase? What did you buy at SummerSlam?
AJ Styles gloves.
Yes, and
nice.
And how many times did you flash the AJ Styles P1 thing over your head?
I don't know.
Too many?
Too many times?
Never too many. Never too many.
Never too many. All right, so let's get to it here, and let's talk about the SummerSlam. What was your favorite match of the night of all the matches?
Seth and Dolph.
And why was that? What was fun about that match that made you like it the most?
Because at the end, I liked when they kept rolling up.
You like the rolling up? What do you think sometimes when you can see their butt a little bit? Do you ever notice that sometimes when they roll up, you can see like their butt?
No.
No? You never noticed that?
No.
All right, I have to just go the same question. All right, what did you think of the Becky Lynch heel turn, her turning against Charlotte? How did you feel about that?
I liked it.
You liked it? Why? Why'd you like it?
Because I think Becky deserved it.
You did? You think Becky deserves her moment? What do you think about that, Tim?
I think that's a very insightful take, for sure.
Okay, what about Ronda winning? Did you, I know Alexa's your girl. Did you have mixed emotions, mixed feelings about that?
Not really.
No? You were happy about Ronda winning?
Yeah.
All right. And finally, last but not least, no more Brock Lesnar. Roman Reigns is champion. How does that make you feel inside your heart?
Really, really good.
Yeah. Now, why? Because you like Roman so much, or because you are just happy Brock is gone?
Both.
Tim, you got any questions for the little one here before we bring in number 2?
So what'd you think of Demon Finn Balor?
Oh,
It was really cool.
yeah. It was a big surprise, right? Demon Finn Balor. Was that your favorite entrance of the night?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
Somebody was very excited for Jeff Hardy, too. She fell asleep in the middle of the Jeff Hardy match, but then woke up for the next 2 matches. So that was very, very good. So she needed a little cat nap around 10:15 or so.
Hey,
But,
long show. I give it to you girls for saying that there as long as you did. So
hey, man, we sat in our seats as Rusev started. So you guys made it from roughly 5:30 till 11 and change. So, and then walked back to the hotel. Very proud of you.
Did you girls have any chocolate or ice cream or anything? Help you keep awake?
Yeah, what did you have? What was your snack?
Skittles.
Skittles. Yes, we
Yes.
gave him the sugar rush. Yeah.
There you go.
You're like, all right, 9:30, pump them full of some Skittles and see what happens.
Recharge.
Honestly, I think I had to at one point too.
Yeah.
So was a pay-per-view a fun thing to go to as opposed to just a house show? Did you enjoy the pay-per-view?
Yeah.
Yeah. What was better about the pay-per-view than the house show?
It had a lot of matches and
It did.
really cool stuff.
Yes, there was a lot of fire and things and lights and all that. So, well, I mean, not fire, but
And smoke.
and smoke. Yes, there was smoke.
There was
There was
smoke, yeah.
definitely a lot of smoke. All right, well, that was very good. Let's bring on thing number 2 here and get her take. Let's go with the 8-year-old. All right, here, put this earphone in your ear here. It goes in your right ear. That's the other one. Goes in your other one. The other ear. There you go.
You need a production assistant, Joe.
I know. It's so hard to find good help these days, Tim. All right, Lou, let's get your take. First off, NXT, you stayed up for the whole thing. What was your highlight of NXT?
I think the same thing as Michaela, Adam Cole, and Ricochet.
Do you enjoy the Adam Cole, baby?
Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoy the Adam Cole. I always enjoy Velveteen also. Velveteen is always a good time as well. What about Ciampa and Gargano? Do you have any feelings about that?
I wanted Gargano to win.
Of course you did. Of course you did. But did that happen?
No.
No, it did not happen. That's right. All right,
Aw.
let's get to SummerSlam. So tell me, favorite match of the night, what was it for you?
Charlotte, Becky, and Carmella.
Oh, okay. And how do you feel about Becky turning on her friend there?
Okay.
Okay. Just okay. You're fine with that? Do you turn on your friends in the middle of the playground?
No.
No. What if you deserve it?
No.
All right. Here's a fun question. What match did you not like? What were you like, nah, I could care less about this. I didn't care about, or wasn't your favorite?
Ms. Daniel Bryan.
Ms. Daniel
Wow.
Bryan. Really? I thought that was a pretty good match.
Well, I didn't see it all.
Well, yeah. So there was a bathroom break there somewhere around, because that's what you have to do. You got to hit up the bathroom so often.
I mean, it's a non-title match, so I get it.
All right. So that's true. There was nothing at stake, and it was like 8 years in the making.
Right.
So that's, they've been fighting as long as you've been alive, those two. So let me give you a quick one, too. What was your favorite entrance of the night? Favorite entrance, best music, where you're like, oh, my God, I'm so excited to see that person.
I don't
Oh, wow. You don't know?
So much pressure,
Alexa
Joe.
Bliss.
There you
Alexa
go.
Bliss. Okay, there. And what did you buy at SummerSlam? What was your one?
The Alexa Bliss gloves.
That's right, the Alexa Bliss gloves. So now you own gloves that are like they can see the bones in your fingers, right? Yeah, it's very cool. Okay, so Roman Reigns is now Universal Champion. Your feelings about that? Are you happy he's champ, or are you happy Brock Lesnar's gone? How do you feel about this?
I'm happy Brock Lesnar's gone.
Are you equally
There you
happy
go.
that Roman's champ? Because you like Roman Reigns.
Mm-hmm.
So we're good now. Everything feels better.
Yeah.
All right, Tim. Any questions
Cool.
here for the 8-year-old post pay-per-view?
All right. Maybe Demon Finn Balor. What do you think about that?
He was very good and cool because the match was quick.
Yeah.
And on Raw, Baron Corbin made an excuse about the demon.
That's right.
Yep.
He wanted to face Finn Balor, not the Demon. And I can understand why. The Demon is certainly much more aggressive, I guess, is the word to take it. So was a pay-per-view fun for you? All the people and all the stuff?
Yeah,
Would you go to another one?
sure.
Yeah. What do you like better, the Garden or Barclays Center?
Ooh.
They're equal.
They're equal, really. I like the Garden better, man. I'll tell you, Barclays we'll get to that in a little bit. I have
Ooh, okay.
some issues with Barclays Center, that's for sure. So
Really? Okay.
all in all, a good weekend, I would say. Everyone very happy and looking forward to the next paper. So you would go back to SummerSlam again next year?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you would.
Yeah.
Would you go to NXT next year? That's the question.
Maybe.
Maybe the whole weekend? No, we'll see. I don't know. I think
That's
the
a lot
little
of
one
wrestling.
would. You know, it's only another 4 hours. I mean, who knows? All right. All right. So that'll do it for
Thanks,
one,
girls.
Thank you, guys. That'll do it. The top. Let's start. Let's go all the way to the top of the top. 6.5 minutes of glory. It was the most appropriate amount of match time I've ever seen. It was just enough to make it all work. You had Roman and Brock. You had everything there. You bring in Braun. The crowd gets all hyped because now they're excited because they know that Brock Lesnar at least is not going to be champ. Brock Lesnar ends up F5ing whatever. He does his stupid crap to Braun Strowman, all these things, and then he comes back in. He gets speared. Game over. Roman Reigns champion. And it's funny. I watched the TV version, and it sounded a lot louder and cheerier than it did when I was there. But maybe
I wonder why.
I just saying it really. I mean, I was there, and the biggest pop of the night was Finn Balor as the Demon, and the Becky Lynch heel turn was insane.
Yep.
The crowd was insane. But I digress. Finally, we got it, and I felt such a sigh of relief. I really did. It was excellent. I think it was the way it all went down was perfect. Short, sweet, get it over with. Put them over clean. That's it. No nonsense. Stop letting Roman win the belt and then somebody else taking it from him. Just do it and be done. And I feel good. I feel good about it, Tim.
I love the booking. I thought it was just a brilliant way to make Roman and Braun both look good in the situation, even though Braun wasn't going to cash in.
Right.
It made sense. I mean, having Braun be the distraction, he helps Roman beat Brock in essence. Roman can get an ego over beating Brock clean now, even though, of course, it was a little bit more than that. My one nitpick is that maybe Roman could have known that Braun was ringside, even though he was knocked out. I would have run out of the ring a little bit faster, so he wouldn't have to get the risk of that. But
that's fair. I think there was still time left, and they wanted him to. I think that was a TV issue.
Right.
I think there was more time left because I think they allotted more time for that match, so they needed him to play in the ring a little bit more.
But the decision, the way it folded out, I was a big fan of it. So it
was great. Get in, get out. Yeah. Do it, because the crowd was into it. The crowd was more into Brock losing than being upset if Roman won, and that was it. You finally hit it.
And WWE, I was just saying, WWE just finally nails the story. So there it is.
There you go. And the aftermath too. The next night, great match with, and here you go, all your Roman Raiders. Here we go. I'm fired up about it. I can barely get out words. All you Roman Reigns haters out there, and again, he's not my favorite guy in the world. But he goes out the next night and has a great match with Finn Balor.
Killed
it with Finn Balor. That was a great match.
I love the two of them. Love the two of them together.
And I'm hoping for more of them. And it was great. And it's not great because Finn Balor's carrying him. Because guess what, kids? I'm going to shatter your dreams like gold dust. Finn Balor has the same 5 moves, too, that he does every time. And Roman Reigns has the same 5 moves. It's how you do them and when you do them. And it was a great match.
All the 45-year-old kids need to know that. So,
oh my God, grow up! Stop being. You know what? There are these people who want to go back to this Attitude Era. And I'll tell you what. Randomly, I've been thrown on some old Raws at night. When I'm trying to fall asleep or whatever. And watching the old Attitude Era stuff. Let me tell you, go back and watch some old Attitude Era stuff because although Stone Cold is great and The Rock is great, the wrestling and the moments in between are dreadful.
Yep.
Do you want to watch Steve Blackman have a discussion with Ken Shamrock? I mean, I love Shamrock, but I mean, come on. That's even the worst. It was like Dan Severn and Steve Blackman. And I'm like, oh my God, this is death.
Just get him in the ring already. Don't let him talk.
Oh my God. But I mean, just stop.
I know.
This whole thing, everything was always better when I was a kid. And
so stupid.
The high points were definitely better than the high points now. There's no doubt about it. Yeah. Stone Cold, The Rock, Mick Foley, Triple H, all of them working at the same time.
Legends.
Definitely legends. But stop trying to hate on everything just because it's new. The overall wrestling is the overall show, even though it's an hour longer, is so much better. Go back and watch a Raw from 1998. I'm telling you, it's not as good as you think it was or you remember it being.
What, Joe? You don't like those Naked Midian versus Viscera matches?
Oh, not enough Godwin's moments with Jeff Jarrett.
The wrestling baseline today is infinitely higher than it was in the Attitude Era. So
infinitely higher. So, I mean, it's just enough. Infinitely. Now, the next night, too, after that, so Finn Balor, Roman Reigns in the aftermath, great match. You have Braun come out again, who I guess has given up his whole I'm going to beat people clean thing because, I guess he got screwed the night before.
He waited, so.
He did wait. So, anyway, and then we have our illustrious Shield reunion.
We'll
which
see.
people want to tell me it's like, oh, well, the Shield are the bad guys now. And I'm thinking, really? It doesn't feel like they're the bad guys.
Not necessarily booked like that, clearly. So
Nope. I mean, I don't think this is good. This is good because gray is the best color for this product. It always has been. It always will be in this new era of sports entertainment. Gray is the best thing you can be. And I think it's perfect. Let people decide who they want to root for. Let them be split. The greatest match I was ever in a building for was WrestleMania 15 between The Rock and Stone Cold, because that crowd, everybody in there respected both guys. Everybody in there enjoyed both guys, but everybody also had a rooting interest. And that was the craziest building I've ever been in, where I was like, oh my God. Every 1, 2, 3 was like insane because nobody knew which way it was going to go. And everybody deep down had someone at their core that they were kind of rooting for to win.
Well, the stakes of that match were nuts. I mean, it might have been one of the greatest WrestleMania matches in history in terms of atmosphere, like you said. So
being in that building, Tim, was one of the things. I mean, in all the sporting events I've ever been to, I've been to World Series, I've been all these things. It's not even that moment is just insane. And let people do that. Let people be awesome in their own way, and then let the people decide. And these shades of gray is where you want to be. But I enjoyed the Shield reunion there. It's nice to have Dean back.
It worked.
He brings an element to the show too, ripping things off the table and like getting all rowdy and nuts. I mean, they need that because Raw has been a little bland.
And I'm with you on the shades of gray, because you could justify that, you know, Braun is still being the opportunistic bad guy here, and that the Shield need to help their buddy. So, I mean, I think you can play that off each other well. I think you know, having their individual motivations necessarily makes them both, rootable figures, I guess. So I like the fact that they haven't really drawn a line just yet.
Yeah, Seth winning back the IC belt from Dolph Ziggler, another great match. You know, they keep leading off with Seth Rollins, and it's really hard to top because, you know, Seth and Dolph, when it was Seth, Finn, and Miz leading off a pay-per-view, it's like you're kind of setting yourself up for potential failure.
Almost downhill.
It's almost downhill, but I'll give it to the rest of the group. They picked it up. It was a good show. For as long as it was and all that, it was a infinitely better show than WrestleMania, I thought.
Oh, for sure. I fully agree with that. I think that helped for sure. I'm with you in the fact that if maybe they leave Seth Rollins through the middle to be that wake-up juice for everybody. You know?
Well, look, Drew McIntyre and Dolph need one more guy in that stable, and then it's them versus the Shield, and then I'm really excited. So
yeah.
Add that one more guy in, and then because then you can intermatch these guys back and forth. And
3 months of booking right there.
Who do you need? Who's the third man?
Oh, man.
Don't tell me Hulk Hogan.
Who's the third man? Your Chad Gable still kind of works, but is that believable against the Shield? I don't know. He's a great wrestler, but you know, size might be the permittable thing there. Male wrestling.
Oh, right. Sami Zayn.
When he's ready, he might not be ready for a few months. So that would be a good idea.
Yeah, he's still probably not ready.
Elias is his own thing.
Elias is definitely.
Jason Jordan might be done, which is sad.
Yeah, I had heard that too, and it's not surprising.
Not KO. KO's his own thing. Not KO. KO's his own thing. You can't do that.
No,
it's tough.
Because I don't even feel like you can't bring up an NXT person. It's got to be somebody.
Adam Cole. You lose Adam Cole in this situation. He has to be his own thing.
I agree.
Apollo Crews, maybe. If you break up Titus Worldwide.
It's not terrible. It's not terrible.
Got to stop him from smiling, but.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to think, you know, if you're going to put a third person into that.
Bobby Roode.
I mean, I don't know. Can you put Finn Balor in it? And just turn him and let him be the demon with them? I mean, I don't know. It's not terrible. You know, I kind of like we'll get to Finn in a second. I want to hold that, but they need somebody else there. They need and maybe it's a matter of
advantage, yeah.
And maybe it's a matter of taking somebody over from SmackDown. I'll tell you what. I mean, it makes what makes the most sense is a guy who is not on there, which is Randy Orton.
Yeah, as like the mentor type of a guy for Drew for sure. I can see that.
You know, Orton being because that seems to be his gimmick right now anyway, which is I'm underappreciated. Yeah. You guys suck.
Do they call up like a Lars Sullivan or something?
No, because he's not the guy either.
EC3, if he's healthy.
But I think if you're going with the whole concept of we've been here and we've been in this business for
Underappreciated.
10 years and we're underappreciated by the fans. You can't underappreciate EC3 because half the fan base in the universe doesn't even know him still.
That's true.
So that's the hard part. The hard part is getting them over. Like I said, it might be a matter of pulling over Randy Orton no. You know who it is? He's right under our nose. It's Bray Wyatt. It's Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt is absolutely that, and you change the gimmick enough.
You have to, yeah.
That you just let him, you refine it in a different way. But that's the third guy, because if you put him, because he's that, Drew's the big, good-looking guy, and now you have the other guy who's just kind of like a bruiser kind of guy, and he needs a refinement of gimmick and a rebound in the worst way. And Matt Hardy's, God bless him, but he's done. Mm-hmm. He's done in the ring.
Yeah, I mean, if you lose the Sister Abigail stuff, which you kind of already have, and you lose the Wyatt family type of stuff, and I keep saying, you get him back to that like Cape Fear type serial killery guy that he was in NXT, that could work.
It absolutely could. It absolutely could. I mean, maybe you just cut the dreads and do the whole thing, and I don't know. I would have him go away for a month and go on a program, lose 30 pounds, and get in good shape, and come back and kick ass. And I think They do need a third guy. They need a third man for sure. And he fits the thing. I mean, he's a guy that's underappreciated, maybe wasn't worked properly all the time. And, and bring him back. Let him be that thing. So, all right, good match with Seth and Dolph, Dean involved and all that stuff. No deal heel turn, but obviously that's because there were too many other things that were going to happen turn-wise. Can't overload that too much.
Save it down the road. Maybe a WrestleMania match.
Now, Demon Finn Balor got a huge pop against Corbin. And I say this, I love Finn Balor. I find him very amusing. I enjoy his work in the ring. But smiley leather jacket Finn Balor doesn't move the needle for me. Mm-hmm. I don't think he'll ever be champion. Demon Finn Balor does. Mm-hmm. Demon Finn Balor changes his entire persona, his entire style, the move set, everything he does.
Facial expressions, most importantly.
Everything he does. Yep. When he's behind the makeup on that character, that's the best version of that guy.
I wish the hair weren't like the way it is. But
I mean, I don't mind.
There's some flowiness to it that I get, and it needs to be like a overpowering type of sense of big presence. I guess it adds to his body. I don't know.
It does, but look, again, like the Undertaker, you can evolve it and refine it.
True.
And make it different or do versions of it over time. But when you have that version and when you have that kind of a pop and that feel and you have a character that people connect with it. It's not just a Brooklyn audience. People connect with Demon Finn Balor because it's kind of scary, it's kind of weird, it's kind of interesting. When you're an 8-year-old kid, I think you're somewhere between really enjoying it and being a little freaked out. That's where you're supposed to be. It's like how I felt as a kid with Jake the Snake Roberts. People like that. I was like, this guy's awesome, but I'm a little afraid of him.
Well, the Undertaker for me when I was a kid too. So
right? Yeah, because there's your 5-year difference between us.
I was going to say we don't have the same feelings about the Undertaker, but when I was like 7, I was like petrified, but also intrigued and cheering for him. So.
And I just want that for Finn because he's really good at what he does. And I just feel like there's your opportunity with Finn Balor. If you want to push him in there and make him more interesting again, it works. It changes his whole persona, his whole demeanor.
Just one thing I want to ask you.
All right.
Bothers me a little bit. The logistical things behind the use of the Demon. I know there's a reason why they did it for SummerSlam. And then you have to kind of explain away why he didn't do it in the much more important match against Roman.
It was a terrible idea. He should have been the Demon in that match too.
Right,
he should be the Demon all the time now.
Okay, that was what I was going to ask you.
And if it's a matter of I don't want to do the makeup every night, well, tough.
Do it simpler.
Do it simpler. Find other ways.
Do the crazier makeup for SummerSlams and stuff like that.
What I don't understand is, it's like he did it that night, and I knew it. I knew the next night on Raw he wasn't going to be it, and it was going to piss me off, and it did. Mm-hmm. Because even if you don't, just come out to the ring in it. Make it this thing where you flip the switch, and it's almost like make him the manager of the Demon. Let Finn be Finn,
That's awesome.
And let him manage this personality.
That's a really good idea.
As the Demon, and say, well, I'll have to speak to him to see if he's available tonight to face you, and all this
fantastic.
stuff. That would be amazing, and this is why I should be writing for WWE. I've applied several times over the years. WWE, if you're listening, I mean, that right there, that's $1 million idea right there. And
split personalities like that would be immensely entertaining.
It's Yeah, I mean, just put it away and let him be the demon.
Are you worthy of the demon? Yep.
Are you worthy of the demon, right? And all that stuff. And that way you don't have to worry about him on the nights he's not wrestling, coming out in the makeup and doing all that stuff. And refer to him. Make him like the Paul Heyman version. Like, make him the hype guy.
My client, the demon.
My client, the demon. He's unavailable tonight. And then everyone will go, oh.
There it
Shut
is.
up, everyone.
we just fixed Finn Balor. That's it.
Yeah, well, and look, Finn Balor has been laying in wait, and I thought it was really cool that they did it in Brooklyn and said, hey, bring on. But look, he should be the demon, and he should always be the demon. And you know what? If you're going to put him with Dolphin Drew, then he could be the demon all the time there because he doesn't have to talk much either. Not that you don't want him to talk, but it's just not necessary.
Right. It often detracts from him. When he
all right,
let's do long promos.
Let's talk about Ronda Rousey defeating Alexa Bliss. Also a quick match. I felt fine about it, but you know, I just feel the same way, which is I feel like if you're gonna really let Ronda have the belt, let her just. It's all happening so fast, and it's not that I don't want her to have it, but I look around and I'm like, okay, well, where's the feud?
Mm-hmm.
Is it Nia Jax? You're gonna bring her back because technically she didn't beat her,
right?
And that's my guess. That's my guess where they go next.
Yeah, I mean, I'm okay with a good baby face being dominant. I think there's a good merit to that when it deserves it. But I don't know. I think you kind of really just ruined Alexa Bliss with this whole thing. At least not putting up a little bit of like a plan to like try to beat her. She just ran away. Alexa Bliss,
she looked weak in the match. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. You've built her up as a smart, cunning champion for years, and then. Maybe with less build than I wanted to have this feud, but I think it just did her a disservice. Even though I think you can't really logistically have her have a physical chance against Ronda, which I agree with. But she was your champion for all these years and all these times. Make her have a little bit more of a fight with.
Yeah, have some more clever things. Let her fight a little dirtier. Do some things to her. Let her be smart and savvy.
Have her chase her around the outside. Just hit her with something or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know if you could figure out things. I was also surprised she came out by herself.
Yeah,
I thought that was a weird choice there. I don't know. I'm not sure why that happened.
I thought they're going to do more playing with the double jointedness and have her like escape an armbar or something like that.
Yeah, that was pretty gross. I will say that. But you know what? I knew it was a fait accompli because before the match, they were flashing stuff for Evolution pay-per-view, and they were showing her and Trish Stratus.
Well, they showed that on Saturday at NXT, which was disappointing.
And I'm like, okay, well, I definitely know how this is working out today.
Yeah,
that was a little annoying.
Good job, guys.
And awesome. She doesn't need the belt. She's Alexa Bliss, but at the same time, it's like
no, it elevates her.
I don't know. It was fine. I'm fine with it, and I'm like you too. It was fine to have the nice storyline, her and Natalya and all that. So maybe you have the Natalya turn. Maybe. I still think that's something they wanted to do, but then the death of her father just squashed that idea.
Exactly.
So I think they'll have to slow play it, and maybe Shayna gets involved. I don't know. We'll see.
Nia probably, like you said. I think
it's probably more likely going to be Nia, and that's just the way it is. Although what I'd love would be heel Asuka to move over there.
Yeah. Even though Asuka ran out to break up Charlotte and Becky the other night.
Well, everybody ran out.
Like a mid-carder, though. And then you don't show her, and then you show her then.
Yeah, I know.
Lame.
I know.
It's kind of lame.
Anyway. Let's get to the other women's match. Charlotte
Speaking of,
defeats Becky and Carmella. The match itself was okay. Whenever Carmella got out of the way and let the real kids.
I think it was one of the better matches of the night, honestly.
Yeah, when the adults play and Carmella would get out. I actually chanted third wheel in the middle of that.
That's amazing.
Third wheel every time she would do something. Again, I'm the fun chanting guy.
Fun, PG. You can be clever by not using.
You could be the funniest person in your. See, that's the thing people don't understand. It's like you could chant random chanting. You could chant things like "you're a third wheel," and people will laugh, and everybody has a good time. You don't have to get vulgar.
I was gonna say, yeah.
It's just crazy.
It's often funnier when you don't curse because it's more artful.
That's right. But not everyone is as smart as me. What can I say? We've got the Becky heel turn, which again in Brooklyn was just nuts.
It was out on TV too. So yeah.
It was electric in the building. I got to tell you, it was what everyone was like, wow, and it was the groundswell, and they did a great job. And I think when you get that reaction out of a crowd, the wrestlers, the writer, everybody's done a good job of building it properly. That was a perfect example of a great build.
It was not my choice to turn her heel, but I think they're doing a really good job with it so far.
And I liked her the next night.
Yes, I was going to say that promo was excellent. She had the nice delusional heel promo about how no one supported her in the crowd. I think that she's justified, the justified heel because Charlotte just keeps butting in all the time. So
I think they can go for 2 months with this. I think they can go all the way to Evolution with this.
I think so.
Because I think you can have Becky win and then defend it at Evolution against Charlotte if you want. And because what you have to do is you have to set up Charlotte and Ronda.
Run it back in Royal Rumble, and that'll be when Charlotte wins it to defend against Ronda.
Well, exactly. Well, I'm saying is Charlotte wins Royal Rumble is my guess.
Yes. Okay, I can. Yeah. Either way.
What I want is you got to have some sort of finish here at Hell in a Cell between the two of them, where either Becky wins or it's a weird finish, and then you have her win at the next one, and then Charlotte's without the belt, and then Charlotte wins Royal Rumble and then chooses to go because you have to get Charlotte off that show and onto Raw,
right? And
that's the only way to do it. And Ronda's not dropping the belt and winning the Royal Rumble, which is what I thought originally was going to be the case.
And then you have babyface Asuka versus Becky, maybe. And then Charlotte and Ronda go for the Raw women's. So.
Well, like I said, moving Asuka over to Raw would be the smartest thing, and let her turn heel against Ronda because her and Ronda would have some great potential stuff. The things that they know, I think, would be really fun to watch.
But you could turn Charlotte heel in the months between Royal Rumble and WrestleMania easily. So
you can if you want Ronda to. Well, here my question is: I always feel like they always want Charlotte over at the end of the day.
Yeah, but it's changed now. I think Ronda's like their cash cow now with that. So
that's fine by me. Well, hey, if
they
Flair,
have
Flair as a heel is always give me a Flair heel any day of the week,
right?
And I'm happy.
I mean, give Becky the belt first for me, but yes, absolutely.
Becky's gonna have that belt. She'll have that belt before November, no doubt. Samoa Joe defeats AJ Styles by disqualification, which I love this match at the end. Yep. I loved AJ just losing his mind, and it was really intense and fun to watch. Good build on this match too. Again, you can go down to this well a couple more times. And it seems like that's what they want to do.
I mean, Joe setting everything up just worked epically.
Oh, when he picked up that mic and he was like, "I'll be your daddy," and then,
but I'll be your daddy or whatever he said.
And then the crowd, of course, started chanting, "Who's your daddy?" And that was coming. Yep. It was just the New Day, Bludgeon Brothers. They won on the DQ, and then they won on the SmackDown this past week. Which is great. I actually thought New Day was going to go over on them and win the belts.
Me too. Yep.
At SummerSlam, but they did it the next night. That's fine. It's a fun way to end the Brooklyn thing with New Day. That's leaving on a high note. So I was like, okay, we had so many things happen. You want to slow play it a little. I was fine. Apparently, Eric Rowan's got a bicep injury too.
Yeah.
To which I say, here's another opportunity. There's another guy too. God, he's so good. He's so good. Luke Harper's so good. Why don't you take him, move him over to Raw, and put him in that group with, oh my God, my head would explode.
The power behind that group with Harper and McIntyre. Oh my goodness.
God. Wow.
We're Luke Harper fanboys for a reason. So.
But imagine that 6-man tag match with the Shield. That's a main event right there.
The Wyatts and Shield 6-mans were awesome, and Harper will connect back to that. So
I would love for that to happen, but obviously the Bludgeon Brothers are going to be hurt, it does, but this is the opportunity there to use Luke Harper.
You're right.
And this might be exactly what I keep saying. Luke Harper needs to be a singles guy, and you could put him in you could put him against the Nakamura's and AJ's he could go get AJ Styles, and that would be phenomenal because AJ's going to need some more foils too.
So to speak, phenomenal. But New Day has an opportunity for a team we like as well to face them. So
this is true, and EY did tell us big things in September, so this is probably exactly what we thought it was going to be, and which is what it's going to look like, which is sanity against them. And
oh baby,
that's going to be fun. Let me
Break
tell
up
you,
the New Day.
Miz and Daniel Bryan was a good match. I think everybody would agree. No matter how many times you go down to the well, sometimes like Gargano and Ciampa, it's just going to work.
It's stretched a little bit more than I would have wanted it to.
A little long,
but the payoff was nice. So.
A little long. Payoff was good. Miz getting the W, always good. I was surprised that Cien Almas was the first of the pre-show matches. I thought that was terrible. Him and Rusev, terrible to kick off the show.
The other two were title matches, though, so I guess they wanted to save those.
Oh, horse crap. I mean, you can't go this Rusev Day thing like is a big deal and then have him lead off the pre-show when nobody's in the building yet.
Yeah, that's true.
I felt bad for him. And I know then they showcased him on SmackDown the next night, but still, I don't know.
That's a fair point.
Nakamura retains his title. The B team retained their title, which I'm very happy about. The B team. Cedric also retains his title.
Good match though. That cruiserweight was nice.
Yeah, cruiserweight was good. Gulak always underrated.
Always.
I always say that. Mustafa Ali always very good. If they were able to give 205, you know what? If you want to make Raw better, put the 205 Live guys in the middle of it again.
Yep.
I mean, just do it. because Raw in that second hour drags. I don't want to watch Authors of Freaking Pain.
Ugh.
I don't care. It's dreadful. And if I have to watch them in Titus Worldwide again, I'm just turning the channel, man. I just am.
Give us a Gulak and Mustafa Ali match in the middle.
Right? I mean, it peps everybody up. I mean,
revive the crowd, yes.
God, and it'll get some, people watching 205 Live again. It's just, come on.
Good wrestling. It's such good wrestling, too.
Anything else for you, Tim, from the aftermath from any of
poking
these?
Through here. No, I think we covered most of it.
You got Brie Bella now in the mixed tag match. I know you're excited about that.
Now try getting that out of your head the rest of the day.
Crowd was so anti-Bella when they were doing their thing.
I'm glad they
SummerSlam.
were.
Because it was like one big infomercial, Yeah. It's come on, man.
That's one thing about the Ronda end of it. They shoehorned the literal total divas into the women's revolution.
Yeah, they did.
Great messaging.
Money is money. That's what it's all about.
But you know what? I will say at least they were smart enough to feature your girls on there. So yeah.
That's right. My kid's very. Could you imagine you got the little one with her gloves? Actually, both of them with their gloves. One's like flashing the sign. She's walking in through security. She's walking in through security wearing the belt over her shoulder.
So awesome.
She did the same thing at the Garden, and the security guys were giving her high fives. So she was walking through the security through the metal detector. It was hilarious.
Nice.
She's a rock star. She thinks that's coming out of the tunnel. I'm pretty sure my 6-year-old thinks it's like going through the security thing is like going through the tunnel and coming out. And like, now I'm here.
Oh, it's great. Tell us about the tweet that you had about her and Alexa Bliss.
Remember? Oh, yeah, that's right. I did. I tried. I'm going to try to retweet it again.
I retweeted it from
We wanted Alexa Bliss to retweet the tweet because the next day she did the full pigtails with the Alexa Bliss shirt and the gloves and it was a champ. And it's still my champ, and,
great photo,
I guess Alexa's arm wasn't working so well, so she couldn't retweet it.
Or she's just staying kayfabe.
No, that's fair, and that's fine.
That's an interesting. Funny how that intertwine again has to work with staying heel, but then appreciating the kids that love you. It's a nice little interesting little balance that we still have to keep going with this whole thing. But.
It is. You can like it and not retweet it after all.
Exactly.
What are you, Jake? Our friend Jake, who doesn't like any. He's never liked a tweet. He's got 30,000 followers. He's never liked a tweet in his life.
Well, Jake's gonna Jake, man.
He's a heel. Sealy. All right. We'll get Jake back on the show too. I'm sure he's got lots of thoughts on all this stuff. But overall, look, I thought it was a great weekend for the product. NXT started off right. You're always going to work at a deficit the next night because the wrestling's always going to be at a higher level. But I thought they stepped it up where they did not step it up at WrestleMania. So far this year, by far the better of the two big fours, or the three big fours, I should say, in this calendar year. And, I was going to say, I don't think there was one thing where I was like, ugh, this sucked. Like, the start to finish of SummerSlam was entertaining. There was not one match that I felt like I wasn't into. It absolutely still goes too long. It should not be a 4.5, 5 hour show. It's just too much. It's just going to have a negative.
Those kickoff matches really don't need to be there. I'm sorry. I find myself missing them because I'm trying to get ready to go to the show or watch at my buddy's house.
Right.
And it's just too much.
Because then you're putting a lot of onus on the crowd to keep their attention, to not – but this is what's happening. What's happening at the pay-per-views is because it's going so long, everybody's starting to try to entertain themselves, and they think they're entertaining, and it's ruining the product sometimes. So just keep that in mind, WWE. The extra hour, it's not doing anyone any good. Start the show at 8 o'clock, give you one pre-show match at 7:30, get everybody warmed up. Give me 3 great hours with 15-minute matches, not 25-minute matches, and everyone's going to be happy.
Or do like NXT does, 5 matches stretched out. Whatever you feel like you want to do.
Not everybody has to be on the freaking pay-per-view.
It's the everybody gets a trophy, everybody gets a paycheck type of mentality. And
I get
it ruins
that.
the overall product, though. It ruins the overall product and experience.
Look, I don't even mind the extra matches. It's just be efficient, be economical. Leave me wanting more. Don't hope that you're gonna pull me out at the end and say, okay, we still did a good show despite the marathon. Now, look, it was good this time. But they were close at times to losing the crowd at times. There were times during the Nakamura match, I think they were a little overdone. There were times during the Miz match, I think where they were a little overdone. And that third hour can drag, bringing Braun in at the end got everybody hyped up. And maybe now that Brock Lesnar is out of it, maybe you've gotten to a point where we can get past that too. Because I think everybody's expectation of waiting for that last match to be Brock and Roman again and every one of these freaking pay-per-views was getting so stale that it was basically after 4 to 5 hours, it was like we know we're going to be disappointed at the end of this, and it starts to creep into your psyche.
Well, that's also a problem with wrestling fans as well, but it's combined with a real logistical thing, like you said, that does make sense as well. So
now we hope that you've learned from this show today, which is go be a smart, fun fan, drink your beer, have your fun, be respectful of other people in the crowd, and be respectful of the little guys too who are out there enjoying themselves and everybody that works hard to spend money on tickets. You don't have to be the loudest, most obnoxious guy to have a good time. You can be smart and obnoxious and pick your spots and have a good time at the wrestling show.
Basically, this show is smart and obnoxious.
That's right. That's what In This Ring, we pride ourselves on that on In This Ring. And you can follow us at In This Ring, at Joe Pizzapia 17 and at Tim_Heaney. Make sure you check out all the great content at In This League Pod. Also, you can hit up the Patreon page, patreon.com/ITL Army, and mention In This Ring if you're going to go and subscribe over there on Patreon and give a little bit of your money to the cause. Mention it's because of In This Ring. You can check us out on iTunes, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, SoundCloud, everywhere, and subscribe, rate, and review us, please. This is our passion project. We love doing this show. We see absolutely no money for this. None. This is pure.
You sounded way
enjoyment.
too excited when you said that, but
I'm not. I'm just telling everybody we do this because we love it.
We do,
and someday we'd like to make money doing it. I'm sure
we love it. You know, it's I think our discussion is among the best out there. So
absolutely.
Best,
I mean, if not this whole show, just for that Finn Balor idea right there is gold. It's gold, Jerry. Gold. I knew we were going to do this.
Tag team champs for a reason. Seinfeld.
That's right. Even Finn Balor, he could be tag team champs with himself. Him and the Demon. It's going to be great, Jerry. Jerry. Oh, all right. So that'll do it for us. I want to thank my kids again for doing spots this summer, but it's back to school for them. So maybe you'll hear from them, Women's Evolution probably.
Yes.
We'll have to do a spot with them on this show. But we want to thank everybody for listening. It was a great weekend for WWE. We'll see where they take it from here. Lots of good setups, lots of good ideas, mostly from this show. But that'll do it for us. And remember, kids, to be the men, you gotta beat the men, and we are the men. Woo!